Okay, so there's a question running around. And the question is, in an outliner, what happens when you move something out a level? Um, does all the stuff that's underneath it move with it? Or does it somehow stay where it currently is and just the headline moves out one level, right? So before trying to discuss all the different options, let me show you how. This is Drummer, by the way, which is a new product that has as its core a little outliner, but has quite a bit more to it than that. So I don't know. Let's say Caesar's Palace right now is in Las Vegas. Let's say I want to move it to Reno. Okay, so I just drag it, and there it's moved to Reno, or I undo and it goes back to where it was. Right? But okay, so does that make sense? I mean, that is how it works in every instance. If I do something similar, now the keyboard, I can't point with the keyboard and say move it there. A mouse is really good at that, but I can still get it under Reno. Watch, I'll do it. I use, by the way, there's tab and shift tab moves in and out. When I'm doing it from the keyboard, I tend to use Command U, D, R, and L, which are structure moves. And the reason I use that is because tab and shift tab only move in one dimension. I also want to be able to move something up and down a list. So, like for example, this is what Command U does, and this is Command D. See how that works? Okay, so now the question is just using those keys, how would I get it under Reno? Okay, so I go Command L, Command L. Okay, now we're at the same level. Move it up and right. So that's how you do that kind of restructuring. All right, let's put it back to where it was. Right, and then right and up. That's where it was. So I suppose in some way of looking at things, I'm not exactly sure what would happen here, but if I moved Caesar's Palace to the left, well, Venetian is collapsed, right? Would nice hotel, gambling, music, restaurant, waste, racquetball, etc., would all those become subordinate to Venetian? And how would you handle the display of that? Because, I mean, look, that wasn't expanded. I just don't get it. I mean, for me at least, maybe other people see this differently, and I'd love to hear the explanation. I have seen products that work that way, that say, really, indentation is just, structure. There is no structure. We're just talking about convenient keystrokes for managing indentation. So it's like a word processor, except things are indented, and we've got some commands that let us do that, indent and outdent. And maybe they allow us to expand and collapse, but it really isn't the structures that we're working in. It's really a list of things that are at different levels. Well, that wouldn't work for me because I use it for structures like this. I use it for product planning, for projects, for managing my house, for healthcare, for all the lists of things that I need to manage, the details of my life. They go into outlines, and they move around from place to place. Something goes from an idea to being something that it's on my to-do list, and then then I've done it. Now I want to report on what I actually did. There's all this process that goes on, and the structures are very important. Another example thing that I use the outliner for is for coding, and you can't be casual about the structure of programs. It's not a matter of indenting things. A function could become local to one function or then move to be a global or something. Well, when I move the function, the whole thing has to move. Or if I want to move a while loop or add another level of if to some code. I think it depends on, kind of what you're doing with it. And so I noticed that, it really surprised me. We had our product out first in on the Apple II and on the IBM PC, and then Macintosh. And we were pretty much always the first outliner out, or first thing that claimed to be an outliner. And then Word came out with something that they called outlining, but it didn't behave at all like I think an outliner should behave. And I don't know, was it popular? I heard a lot of people say that it didn't really do anything for them. So, which, believe it or not, really makes sense to me. That, you know, if you're organizing your work or details of your life or ideas that you have that you want to do at some point in the future, I think this is the only way to go. So anyway, I apologize for the quality of the sound. I have a really nice microphone here, but I forgot to turn it on. And I think we're using my computer's microphone right now. I'll find out soon enough. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.